Hey guys, just want to kind of walk through this new Miterfold top and bottom library that I've got on the website now. Just kind of show what it can do and how you even approach doing this kind of stuff. I know a lot of you guys have already picked up the adjustable shelves and some fixed shelves, and you've had some success with that. This will kind of just build on that. So let's take a look real quick at the library itself. It's an insert library. So top, bottoms, and stretchers. This is the main one that's probably the biggest one that's available right now. Let's take a look at it here. So instructions at the top. This will kind of get you through. The B stands for base, and then you got W standing for wall. And it's really just simple. Bottoms, you have your L's 1 plus a toe. You have 1.5 plus toe. A lot of this stuff is just built out and scaled, ready to go, ready to drop in. Just because that's the only way it works, really. So there's a lot of custom parts here and pieces, but a lot of times you're probably using something like maybe an L, a standard piece like this, something like that. You can add a light to if you want. It's a base, it'll shine up, that kind of thing. You got, all the way up to 12 inches here on your bottoms. These are all qualified tenons. Everything will have instructions, kind of what it does here. These models will not have the qualified tenons showing because it just messes up the images to try to make that work, the way things stretch and stuff. So the operations are all in there. You can take a look at it here, but yeah, so that's your bottoms, mostly just all L's. Then you have tops, L's, and you have inverted L's and you have standard L's. So this would be an inverted, hard to see here maybe, but you got a 1 inch inverted there. Here's a 1.5 inch inverted. It's 2.5. Now this is going to come the other direction there, drop down, 3.5 and on. A lot of this stuff, it just drops in and fits. So we'll take a look at that in a second here. I tried to make everything so there wouldn't be flip operations where I could. So on something like this, you'll see here it says standard blind dado. This will all cut from one side. On the inverted ones, those are qualified tenons because, again, we can look at the parts, but those ones are going to cut from the other side, so the qualified tenon would be down low. It's hard to explain maybe, but stretchers, we got stretchers that work anywhere. 1.5 by 5, something like this probably would be common. Maybe you're going to flip it around and invert it, top of the cabinet. Again, these all have light options here. That's a model and it's a groove. So again, we can go into a part real quick here. This says qualified tenon, 1.5 face, 5 inch return. So that's fixed. Drop that in the cabinet and it doesn't, stretch or that kind of thing. It's all locked to the front edge. Let's look at the part here on this one. Go down to the pencil. Let's go to our shape. And let's explode this big here. Take a look at it. So you can see we have our operations and our shape. And there it is. Qualified tenons right here. Right click things if we're going into the products. Into the parts, go just right click only. Please, if you left click and drag, that's when you lose operations. So you can see, like over here, all the parts are blue. That is parametric operation. So going down, we have more stretchers here. We got 2x4s. We got 1-inch U's. Now, how does this work? How would we have a 1-inch U? Well, it machines 3/4 panels to a 1/2 inch if needed. So let's take a look at these parameters here. This is pretty wild. It's doing a pocket back parameter. If you're pocketing a 1/2 inch panel, see below. I've left all these on yes because they're hiding. So if it doesn't need it, it's going to hide. But just leave that on yes. Let's look at the part real quick and take a look at it. Let's go to the operations. It looks kind of funny here. It looks blue because it's a huge operation on the back side. Here, we'll take a look here. And you can see we have our qualified tenons. And we have our part pocket here, which is down here. You can see the pocket. It's using the pocket tool. It's going to pull that up. Panelize on thickness minus 1/2 inch. So, and it's hiding here. So, get pocket back. Here you can see the hide operation, the formula. And we'll take a look at it here in 3D just kind of get a visual. And this has been specified to qualified tenons have to be smaller than the pocketed depth. So we shouldn't run into any trouble there. Let's go out to, we got our bottoms again, wall bottoms. I mean, some of this stuff, so the difference is here, you can see, looking at this, this is scaling well with standard wall cabinet depths. The bases are going to be deeper. You can see they're going to scale better with deeper cabinets. You can interchange those if you need to. So let's look at a DeVario here maybe. This is pretty cool. So that's going to machine like that on the fold. So again, this is getting the pocket. So it's going to pocket that, dado the ends, and then you can fold it around. Take your lamello, flush the ends out, set it to 18, and do your DeVario plunge on the front and back. So again, a lot of these have operations here. I mean, most everything does operations as well. I mean, we can get into all this stuff here, but I'm going to keep this sort of short, I think, here. Short as I can. Let's see, here's a top U, DeVario with the Tenso. Again, this one, it's hard to get into this in a short video. Take a look at it here. You can see that's going to machine. When that folds over, you're going to have your required groove for your, what the lamello would typically make for the DeVario, it's making here on the CNC. So that's super cool, I think. I mean, this goes down even to, if you wanted to make a 3/4 inch DeVario, you can fold over a piece of 1/2 inch, 3/4 into a piece of 3/4, lose your edge banding, and it's all done. So pretty slick there. Yeah, let's just take a look at maybe one more thing here over in here. Let's look at these toes again here. Something like this I would use 1.5 toe bottom. You can see how this is going to work. The toe actually here is not SketchUp part, the standard part there. So let's go out and look at this project quick here and how you actually work this on the wall, on the job here. Let's open up a wall cabinet. So what I would do typically here is turn on the wall cabinet top to 0 or none. And we're just going to turn that off for now. I'm just going to clear this whole thing out here. So clear cabinet, go to my parts. The bottom I've actually overridden to nothing. A material with 0 thickness. if you go to your parts to build, I have everything building. So if you just turn off the bottom, it doesn't work quite the same, I've found. So you end up with fastener holes and stuff. So let's just try this here. What I'm going to do is just go into my multiple split, section split here and go to 3 separators real quick. We'll show off a basic wall cabinet. And we're going to go down to the walls, bottom, or sorry, go to the wall, bottom, and let's just do 1.5 inches real quick to throw that in. And that's an L. And then we'll do a wall top. Standard. Just do a standard like that. So it looks like 1.5 inches rail. What's pretty cool about this now is probably a best practice is go to the face tab. Do the same thing. Kind of mock what you want to do on the face tab here. So 1.5. 1.5. Go back to your interior, and now I want to grab that separator and just go to lock center. If you lock it top or bottom, doesn't seem to make a difference. So, and now you have this usable space here. So now we could, you know, we could just add a couple of standard shelves, or we could, you know, add a couple other types of shelves or something if we want to do here. So we could do a couple more separators, and we could grab some more components from there, or we could grab a couple of, you know, fixed shelves. We could do an L, and some of these are kind of compatible. Go to edit, take a look at this quick here, go to the parameters. We got our blind data setbacks and whatnot, adding a light. Sure, we'll add a light there. We got a light there. Here, let's add an adjustable shelf here. Let's do an adjustable. Let's do one of these J's. Just to kind of get a visual here. Turn on high detail. And now you can see how we got qualified tenons down low, there, and there. And up top here, we'll throw in some holes. We'll throw in a 3-hole. Whoops, a 3-hole over the top. I can't pull off the picture. You gotta pull off and insert. And there it is. With V2, you can actually adjust the hole size here as well. So we could make these a quarter if we want. And there we are. So that's how that works for a wall cabinet. Same thing for the base. Again, same idea. 3 separators. Just throw in a base here with, let's try like a 7-inch bottom maybe. Let's just do a 6-inch bottom. And what's cool, you can see how it's just snapping. It doesn't need, you can actually squash this down to 0 if you want. I can make that a 0-inch opening, and that's still there. Like that hasn't gone anywhere. So that's pretty wild that works like that. So, you know, let's not do it for now. Let's keep that there. But now we'll do, for the top, let's just do a stretcher here. Let's try this. Let's go back to our stretchers here, and let's do a U stretcher, maybe a 1.5, 3 front and back. And you can see how this works. This has a qualified down low. So again, there's no flip operations there. And like I was saying before, you can either fix this here, or we can do it at the face tab, but I kind of prefer the face tab. Go back to the face tab, do 3 openings again to start. We'll do 1.5. And we'll go to our, what did I say? I had 6 there, I can't remember now. 6, I believe it was. Yep, and now we'll just find our separator and lock that to the center. It's going to drop down low. Yep, there it is. And this one, I mean, if you want, you could drag it up to make sure it hits right, but we'll just lock that to the center there. And this is where it can get pretty crazy here. We could go to the face tab and we can throw in some doors if we want. Oops, what did I have here? See, I was playing around here a little bit. Let's not do that. So there's more to it. And I can show you this trick here too while we're at it here. So you can see one thing with separators and doors or drawers. You can see how this margin's perfect. Well, the trick to that is using this formula here. Let's grab this formula. Let's go into my note. And I'll show you this cabinet quick here. Kind of give it all away. Go to the face, go down to adjust. And we're going to add this formula right here to the tops and bottoms wherever we have butting against a separator. So let's go to this one here, edit, go to the face, adjust, and we'll go top and bottom and drop that formula in. And that's set up there. So that's totally perfect at an 1/8 inch. Again, now we're using a frameless inset style of cabinetry here. Make sure you have the frameless inset style hinges, or maybe just inset hinges for this type of application. And I think that's enough for this video.